Hello, Las Candelistas. I wish I could see you all in person, but I'm so excited to be here with you at your fall event. My name is Michelle Nadeau, and I am the Outreach Coordinator for 1736 Family Crisis Center. For those of you who are unfamiliar with our agency, we were founded in 1972 as a community response to homeless youth living in the South Bay. Our very first shelter was our youth shelter, located at 1736 Monterey Boulevard, and that's how we got our name. Our youth shelter has now relocated to a confidential location in Culver City. In 1981, we began our domestic violence shelter program, and now we currently operate 4 confidentially located shelters across LA County, where we offer services and shelter to victims of domestic violence and human trafficking. In 2013, a Veteran Families Program was added to provide housing assistance to homeless and at-risk veterans and their families. Today, our programs span LA and Orange counties, and we directly serve 9,000 individuals every year. We also offer housing assistance, legal services, and outpatient mental health support to clients not in our shelters as well. The past few months have been extremely challenging to not only maintain our services, but to rise to the challenge of increased need and ensuring the safety of our staff and our clients. I am proud to be a part of this agency whose entire team, from our top leadership to our frontline staff, has come together to support each other in such an incredible way. Every agency that you're hearing from tonight has arisen out of a response to a specific population in crisis. I can guarantee you that we all share a common goal, and that is to no longer be needed. For us, whose mission is to help children, adults, and families through crisis circumstances, achieving that goal must start with our children. Without positive intervention, a child is 100% likely to repeat the cycle of domestic violence. We serve over 100 clients annually at our South Bay shelter, many of whom are children. Your support to permanently augment our children's therapy program there will help tremendously in our efforts to help our children to break the cycle. You can help us to change the whole trajectory of a child's life. Just take a minute and think about what that means. But I'm not the expert. I will hand you over to Dimitri, our Director of Clinical Services, and then you will hear from some of our shelter staff and see some of the wonderful art made by some of our littlest clients. Thank you so much for having us here with you. Stay safe, and I can't wait to see you all again. And now, here's Dimitri.
The clinicians at 1736 Family Crisis Center strive to mitigate the negative effects of trauma by providing children with mental health services and also teaching them how to establish a social support network. With funding from Las Candelistas, we can increase the number of children who we're able to serve each year, as well as expand our services to include activities like arts and crafts, music and dance, and purchasing educational books that will help children and their families understand the long-term effects of trauma. We appreciate your support.
1736 Family Crisis Center makes a difference in people's lives. A lot of the survivors have little to no support. Agencies like 1736 help provide hope, support, and safety. DV survivors live in crisis mode as their lives feel unknown and have changed. We're glad to be able to advocate for survivors for a better tomorrow.
I've been with the agency almost 19 years. I've learned so much, and I know how difficult it could be to be in a DV household. So I feel comforted to know we help DV survivors and they are not alone, because together we can achieve greatness.
I'm happy to be a part of an agency that helps DV survivors in providing a safe and healing environment. And I'm proud to say 1736 Family Crisis Center has a passionate and hardworking team in providing therapeutic services, support, and case management, because together we can.
Hello, Las Scandalistas. Mike Lansing, Executive Director of the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Los Angeles Harbor. Let me begin by thanking you for the opportunity to explain to you today our expanded efforts during this unprecedented pandemic. As you know, our country has been impacted greatly by COVID-19, and our public schools once again had to close down and not open in mid-August as they normally would. So while schools were closed, we decided that we would open our doors at our 7 club locations so that those families that need us most, their children could come to us for a full day schedule, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., while their parents could go to work and earn the money that is needed for both their rent and for their daily sustenance. So while virtual classrooms are the norm, young people, over 500 a day, are coming to our classrooms to make sure that they are connected to their teachers in these virtual classrooms, that we can give them support throughout their virtual classroom day, and that we can have enrichment programs that we're known for year-round in the afternoons, again, so their parents can be at work and that their children can have great social and emotional interactions during this difficult time. This is truly an equity and access opportunity. We've made a great investment to make this happen. We truly feel it's important for these families during this crisis. So I want to thank you so much for the opportunity to present today. You'll be hearing from Sonia and Brian from our staff, who are doing great work to make sure that our kids get every opportunity possible during this pandemic. Thank you for this opportunity once again.
Hi, I'm Sonia Espinosa, the Wilmington Regional Director for the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Los Angeles Harbor. Due to the pandemic, this fall our clubhouses are going full day, from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. This will ensure that our members are supported as they navigate through distance learning. Although this fall may look a little different, our commitment to serve our members remains the same. As members enter our club sites, increased safety measures are put into place. Members and staff are required to wear a mask during the day to ensure everyone's safety. Temperature checks, health screenings, sanitizing stations, and social distancing measures can be found throughout the clubs. Members are grouped into pods of 10, where they remain in their pods the entire day. We do this to prevent any cross-contamination between members. We have recently increased our Wi-Fi bandwidth to ensure that our youth are able to have access to computers and internet for their virtual daily school. Every member receives a breakfast, lunch, snack, and supper during the week to complement the weekend wellness food distribution. After our members are done with school, our staff focus on enrichment programs like music, the arts, athletics, STEM, and cooking. Here at the club, we believe that every child should be able to express themselves creatively. We also believe that every child deserves equal access to opportunities, no matter their gender, ethnicity, or economic background. Distance learning is a challenge in itself, and for a lot of our members, the club is the only resource for them to get the help they need. This full-day program is free to all our members to support our families who are struggling financially during this pandemic. This full-day program has caused an unforeseen increase to this year's budget. The club has remained committed to serving those who need us most. We could not do this without supporters like you. Thank you, Las Scandalistas, for allowing us to speak to you today, and thank you for doing whatever it takes to build great futures.
Hi, my name is Brian Gibo, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer for the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Los Angeles Harbor. So with our fall programming, we had about 500 kids that we had join our program for the distance learning, the virtual learning. And during that time, we analyzed our Wi-Fi. We knew that there would be an issue with our Wi-Fi to have the kids here and to successfully do their programming. So we had our IT company come out and have them take a look at our Wi-Fi. They did a heat map, and we found out that the majority of the locations within our club sites had what they call dead zones. What we ended up doing was increasing our Wi-Fi access points, and we had to double the amount of Wi-Fi access points that we had normally in our facilities. These access points cost about $70,000 to increase just to make sure that we could support these kids every day with their virtual learning. So one of the benefits of this is these kids would normally not have this opportunity. There's a lot of students in more affluent communities that have the opportunity to be in pods with their parents or with other students in the area. And these kids would be alone and fall behind significantly because of the change that happened in March with COVID. This already put them behind a little bit. And summer, they didn't really have strong summer programming. So we wanted to make sure that during the fall, we did everything we could for these kids to get these services, to get this extra support, and to really make a difference in their lives so that they had a leg up moving forward, and that this school year wouldn't just leave them behind. They would actually have the opportunity to keep moving forward with their schoolwork, with their social emotional learning, and all the programming that we have to offer. So thank you so much, Las Canalistas, for giving us this opportunity to tell you about what we're doing at our clubs, to give you some more information on how we're supporting these kids academically and in their social and emotional well-being. This is so important for them, and we hope that we are able to collaborate together moving forward. Thank you again.
Hello once again. I'm glad you had the opportunity to hear from Sonia and Brian about our full day extended schedule for those families that need us the most. And if I could, I'd like to share just one example of hundreds of why this is such an important program. We were approached by a father probably at the end of the first week that we started the full day program. He came to us and said, look, I know you've begun already and probably have filled all the spots, but I have a special need. I'm a lone parent. My family isn't from here. We had to move here years ago, and I'm on dialysis 3 days a week. While I'm on dialysis, my child is home alone while schools are closed, and then I have to work the other 3 to 4 days to earn enough money for us to be able to live. The last 3 months of the last school year, when schools were closed, my daughter basically had no education. There was no one there to support her. We had no connectivity. We had no device. I truly need your full day program if you have a spot for my daughter, because I have to go to dialysis and I have to go to work. Thankfully, we were able to find a spot for Layla in our Wilmington Boys and Girls Club. And she is thriving in our full day program and with all of the support and being with her peers. Obviously, we're doing social distancing and wearing masks for the best safety protocols possible. But this young girl would be home by herself 10 hours a day while her father was trying to take care of the two of them. This is just one of hundreds of stories that we've heard just like this, which is the reason why we've taken on the extra expense, the huge expense to provide a 10-hour day and all of the resources necessary for these young people to have access and equity. So I'd like to just thank you once again for your consideration of this appeal. It truly is changing, in some case, maybe like Layla, maybe saving lives. God bless you all. Stay safe, and we look forward to talking to you again soon. Thank you once again.
Hi. Good, healthy, and happy day to you all. My name is Tara Nierenhausen, and I'm the Executive Director of Communities Child. Communities Child is very honored to be chosen as one of your top 6 nonprofits, especially given the other amazing nonprofits we are competing against. Truth be known, we all work together in some capacity, and it is collectively that we are able to make the South Bay a great place for all children and their families, which I'm sure is going to make your selection process very challenging today. I'm here to showcase Communities Child's Healthy Bags program. As most of you know, our Healthy Bags program was originally designed to deliver nutritious bags of weekend groceries to 220 food insecure South Bay elementary school children who were on many occasions going home on Fridays to empty fridges and cupboards. Because of Las Candelisa's ongoing support, this program was so successful over the past 4 years that it was able to lower the prevalence of child anemia from a high of 27% to a low of 4%. Additionally, healthcare providers, teachers, and parents of these children in the Healthy Bags program have repeatedly reported better overall health, less missed school days, improved grades, less depression, and better social skills. These are huge successes. And all of us at Communities Child thank you, Las Candelisas, for supporting hundreds of local children in need. This year, the COVID-19 pandemic brought on so many new serious challenges for our families. Job losses, increased poverty, food insecurity, and homelessness. School closures meant the children were no longer receiving the school feeding programs, and the families were no longer able to pick up the healthy bags at the schools, meaning they no longer were receiving nutritious groceries, which were critical to building healthy immune systems, which is also being cited as one of the most effective ways to prevent and fight COVID-19. Additionally, the Safer at Home initiative brought on social isolation, which in turn heightened family stressors, causing increased anxiety and depression. Recent mental health reports indicated a 30% increase in child anxiety, depression, cutting, and suicide ideation. Children's grades are also suffering, especially for those children from lower income families whose parents' first language is not English. 100% of the children Communities Child serve fall into these high-risk categories. So while others were running to shelter in place, Communities Child ran in. Within 2 weeks of the shelter-in-place order, Communities Child had resurrected our Healthy Bags program so that we were able to safely provide weekly distribution of nutritious groceries to the 630 local families with more than 1,200 children who registered for this program. Communities Child was fortunate to form a great partnership with Food Forward, which delivers every Thursday more than 14,000 pounds of fresh organic produce to our Hope Community Food Pantry. Through partnerships with the LA Food Bank, Food for Less, and the support of Las Candelisas, we were able to safely provide at-risk children and families with nutrient-dense and immune-boosting groceries. In order to meet the social distancing requirements and ensure safety, only one representative of the family comes at an appointment time each week to pick up a week's worth of groceries. But Communities Child didn't stop there. We secured an agreement with Baby to Baby and Target, so we were also able to provide the children and families with diapers, wipes, toilet paper, personal hygiene, and cleaning products. For those that had lost employment and were working on a very tight budget, this was critical. Additionally, we were able to provide 250 disadvantaged children with backpacks filled with the supplies they needed to conduct their at-home learning and Zoom programs. Most recently, we compiled a team of 2 teachers, a parent educator, a psychologist, 3 MFTs, a drug and alcohol counselor, 2 school district liaison workers, an IT specialist, and 3 of our staff to pilot a free tutoring, family counseling, and support program for at-risk children and families. Each family enrolled in this program will also receive a generously donated Chromebook. We are very excited about taking our healthy programs to new heights and to help meet these challenging mental health and learning needs that our families and children are facing. I am asking Las Candelisas during these trying times to please continue funding our Healthy Bags program and the 1,200 children it serves. Although we are able to secure almost $1 million a year in donated products and groceries, it still costs Communities Child more than $170,000 in annual operating fees to run this program. We are very grateful to Las Candelisas volunteers who come out each week, even during this pandemic, to bag up healthy groceries. As we see it, it's not just bagging nutritious groceries, it's you, our community family, working together with us to make lives healthier, happier, and more productive for the 1,200 at-risk children and their families that we serve. We need you. And the children whose lives have been so greatly impacted by COVID-19 are counting on you more than ever this year to be their hunger heroes. I want to thank you and ask God to bless you for all that you do in the South Bay. Thank you.
What we're doing is packing produce, and most of it is organic, perhaps all of it is organic, and the reason we're so happy about that is because one of the really most important things in fighting the virus is good nutrition, and this helps families to have good nutrition and and get fresh produce. So it's really, really important, and it just feels good to pack up good food to give to people who might not be able to have any, and not only are you giving them something to eat, you're giving them good things to eat, and it feels good too. It's good to help, and we can always use volunteers, so if there are any Las Candelistas out there watching this, we'd be delighted. You can come Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, any day or all days from 10 to 12, and we'll be glad to see you. Thanks so much.
Hi, my name is Andrew Nishimoto, and I'm the Executive Director at Family Promise of the South Bay. We are so thankful to the Las Candelistas and your consideration of our request for our distance learning program, as it's just a high need right now for our families that are experiencing homelessness. In the South Bay, we have so many families that are experiencing so many difficulties, especially in light of the COVID pandemic and so many other issues going on in the world right now. But one of the primary issues that we see in some of our families is their difficulty to support and maintain an educational experience for their children that will lead to success in the future. One of the things that we've seen over the years is that a learning gap exists between those that are wealthier, that have support, that have community to help them, and those that don't. Those types of gaps normally show themselves the most over the summer months when we don't have structured instructional learning for our families. But now with COVID, we see that that structure has been taken away from our families, and now as many of them couch surf, live in their cars, or move place to place, that structure no longer exists, and so that learning gap will begin to grow. So at Family Promise, we decided to do something about it. We converted our family space into a distance learning center where we have staff on site to support families that are experiencing homelessness in their educational pursuits. Let me take a minute to show you what that looks like.
Hi, this is Carly, our intern who's been working in our distance learning program, so I've asked her just to answer a couple of questions. So, Carly, I know that you've worked in other children's programs in the past. What's something unique that you've experienced here with our distance learning program?
Unique, yeah. It's been really cool to work with kids as they're doing online school. When I've worked with kids in the past, they've been all in classroom settings, and I'm just blown away by how adaptable and flexible these kids are being. They are very independent, I didn't learn how to be independent with my work till I went to college, and they're in second and third grade and logging themselves onto class and staying focused, and they need assistance sometimes, but they're very adaptable to the online learning experience.
Great, awesome. And what grade levels are you working with right now?
I'm working all the way through kindergarten to 9th grade.
Oh, wow.
So we have a lot of different kids in the classroom, yeah.
Okay. And have there been any cool stories that have happened in even just a few weeks that we've been operating our distance learning program that you can share?
Yeah, we have a kindergarten student who, obviously kindergarten, this is his first year, he's never been in school before, and technically still hasn't because it's all online, and he's a Spanish speaker, so it's been very interesting to see different ways that we can work with him and try and help him understand what kind of schoolwork he's going to be doing and learning English. So thankfully we were able to connect him with his teacher and get him more engaged in class. And even though he's going to an English-speaking school, he's making a lot of progress with just engaging with his teacher and staying focused on what the class is doing.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing and for all that you do in the classroom.
Of course, thank you.
like about school?
I like the school. My friends are like Howard. I like Angel, Noah.
Nice. Yeah. What's hard about school?
Meeting is meeting is need to be cool and everything, but I so hard with that thing.
Yeah, definitely. All the Google Meets, it's hard to keep track of, huh?
I like making paper making.
Yeah, paper making.
I like a scary one.
Okay.
I like
cool.
SCP.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Hi, Fadi. What do you appreciate about the distance learning program?
That I can play with everyone else and not be cooped up.
Cool. How is it different than school when you were in school last year?
I can't really talk to my friends anymore.
So how does the distance learning program kind of help you overcome that?
That I can see everyone else on a Zoom or Google Classroom call.
Cool. Anything else that you want to say?
No.
All right, bye. So those are just a few stories of what's gone on here at our distance learning program. Again, we are so thankful for you considering this. It's such a huge asset to be able to offer to our community. Over 2.5 million children will experience homelessness this year alone. And those that experience homelessness are 8 to 9 times more likely to repeat a grade, can drop out of school, leads to depression, anxiety. And so this is an incredibly important program, and so we're so grateful for you considering us and all the support that you've given in the past, and we look forward to seeing you in person, hopefully in the near future. Thank you so much.
Greetings, members of Los Candalistas. Thank you for your support of the homeless and working poor. Harbor Interfaith history dates back to 1975 when we were founded by members of the faith community. Today, Harbor Interfaith takes a holistic approach to service delivery. Throughout the video, you'll have an opportunity to take a look at our daily operation of all that we do. We come to you for your support of our licensed child care facility. A secondary request is for our transitional housing program. And you may know that things have changed as a result of COVID-19, and our child care center is operating under different circumstances. But we've had the opportunity to expand our school-age program and offer the children an opportunity to come on site and continue with their distance learning. So we hope you enjoy the video, and again, we thank you for all that you do for Harbor Interfaith and the homeless and working poor in the South Bay area of Los Angeles. The Family Resource Center provides food and housing services to those who are low income in the South Bay area. We provide a 3-day supply of food for each member of the family up to 4 times a year. For seniors 55 and older, we are able to provide monthly groceries. Harbor Interfaith owns and operates a 90-day family shelter program. Families in our shelter are required to meet with the case manager twice a week, attend life skills classes, look for work, attend school, and the goal at the end of the program is to secure permanent housing. They must have children under the age of 18 in order to qualify. The shelter houses about 107 families, 450 people on an annual basis. Harbor Interfaith also has a transitional housing facility, Accelerated Learning and Living. The ALL program offers families 12 to 18 months of housing while they focus on their education with the long-term goal to find permanent housing at the end of their stay. They work with case management staff to seek employment, find permanent housing, and enroll in classes for budgeting, parenting, and life skills training. In March of 2020, Harbor Interfaith worked with County Supervisor Janice Hahn to open an interim housing facility for 40 single adults who were living on or around the post office. This particular facility provides housing resources while the individual worked to secure permanent housing. A Bridge Home San Pedro opened on July 7th of 2020. We worked with our local councilman to open this particular facility to house 100 individuals who were living on the streets. With the opening of our interim housing as well as this particular facility, the capacity to house homeless individuals increased by 200%. Harbor Interfaith provides 3 meals per day, laundry facilities, and an opportunity to meet with the case manager with the ultimate goal to find permanent housing and employment. Since 2014, Harbor Interfaith has served as the lead service provider for the coordinated entry system for individuals, families, as well as youth. The coordinated entry system was established to help those who are in a homeless situation to secure employment, find housing, pay storage, pay their utilities, help with the monthly cost of their rent up to 24 months in some cases, and at the end, the goal is really to ensure that they retain their housing. Close to 1,000 people are served through this particular program on an annual basis. Harbor Interfaith operates 2 licensed child care facilities. The Mary Jimenez Calder Center is licensed to care for 6 infants, 14 toddlers, and 30 preschool-aged children. That's our 0 to 5 program. Our school-age program is licensed to care for those children who are kindergarten and up. We come to Las Canalisas asking for your support of our children's facilities. Since the school districts moved to distance learning, we have operated our school-age program full-time. So parents are able to drop their children off, and we will log on and help them with their homework and their schoolwork throughout the day. The program provides breakfast, lunch, and snack daily. When the pandemic began in mid-March of 2020, we continued to operate our children's facility, mainly because we had those parents who were living in our housing facilities that had jobs that were considered essential. And so we continued operation on a smaller scale. Today, we have added or increased our services, as mentioned, to the school-age program with distance learning. So our goal is to ensure that the children that's living in our programs have the resources they require in order to make progress in school. Harbor Interfaith is really about breaking the cycle of homeless and poverty, and so we're working with them to ensure they have the same opportunities as others. It is my hope that you have enjoyed the video that we've presented today, and again, I thank Las Canalisas for all of their support of Harbor Interfaith, their support over the years and all that you do to ensure we have the resources to meet the needs of those who are homeless and working poor, living in our facilities, attending our child care, and utilizing other resources that we have to offer. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
On behalf of the Wyland Foundation, I'd like to say thank you to everybody at Las Canalisas for the opportunity to share a little bit about the Wyland Foundation with you. The Wyland Foundation was founded in 1993 by world-renowned marine life artist Wyland. Most of you know Wyland's work from the mural here in Redondo Beach, or perhaps you've been up to Long Beach and seen the Long Beach Sports Arena. Over the time, the Foundation's mission has expanded to become more focused on our lakes, streams, rivers, wetlands, as well as our oceans, with the idea being that what we do upstream impacts our neighbors downstream and so on. Some of the programs that you may recognize from the Foundation include our National Mayor's Challenge for Water Conservation, which started with just a handful of mayors in South Florida and has evolved, and this year had over 2,000 cities participating. The idea being that we can all challenge each other to be a little more water wise and a little more conservation minded. We also have our National Art Challenge, where we have students all across the United States paint marine life murals and share their concerns and their inspirations about our water habitats and our environment. Science plays a huge role behind what we do, and behind me you'll see our Clean Water Mobile Learning Center, and it's a integrated, fully interactive science center on wheels, all devoted to the world of water and the science of our watersheds. The Mobile Learning Center has had over 1 million children go through it since we created it, and it rolls directly into schools, many of whom don't have the budgets for field trips, for science projects, for environmental science. So the idea was that we could fill that need and create that science museum experience that they wouldn't get otherwise by going directly where they needed it most, in low-income schools, rural areas, and we've been terrifically successful at doing that. You're going to learn a little bit more about the center in just a second. Afterwards, we're going to hear from Wyland, the founder of the foundation itself, and his philosophy about taking care of our waterways and our environment and the next generation. On behalf of all of us at Wyland, we appreciate everything you do at Las Candelisas for your community, and we're proud and honored to be recognized by you. Thank you again, and we'll see you soon.
My name is Laura and I work for the Disneyland Resort, and I'm here to help out the Wyland exhibit to show the kids what the watershed is. I mean, there are kids who've never been to the ocean. There are kids who've never been to the mountains. So having the video that talks to them starting from the mountains all the way down to the ocean, you know, just getting them to understand where water comes from and where it ends up, that's a perfect example for everybody. If we don't teach the kids to take care of the environment, we're not going to have a planet. So it's really good to give back, and especially at this level where the kids are deciding what they're going to do with their lives. But it's that educational foundation that they need.
We have been talking to the kids all about like water conservation, and this one particularly is about pollution, and it's been so fun to hear them, like, they know what creates pollution, but then to actually see like a demonstration of what that can actually do. It's been really exciting to see it through their eyes. It doesn't matter if you are 3,000 miles away from the ocean or if you are right there next to it, like, you are going to affect it. So then I started asking the question of like, hey, that little farmhouse over there, do you think that farmer, even though he's super far away from the ocean, do you think he's affecting the ocean? They're like, yes, he totally is, because that river right there and that all leads down. Like, they're getting it, and it's so exciting to watch them get it.
You can't protect one piece of water without protecting all of it, the entire water planet, because everything's connected. Every drop of water is recycled through the water cycle. The water that we drink is the same water that the dinosaurs drank. We don't get one drop more or less. So we're beginning to poison the very thing that is the essence of all life. I thought there was a lot of oceans. There's one ocean. And if you want to protect our ocean, you have to think about protecting our freshwater habitats, all of them. The lakes, the rivers, the streams, the ponds, the wetlands, all of it. It's all connected. I believe water is the most important issue of our day, of this century. If you think the government is the answer for all these things, it's not. It's you and me. It's us. If everyone just became a little bit more water wise, I would say, it would make a huge difference for all of us. And what does that mean? That means instead of wasting water, we need to protect it today, and every drop counts. And by protecting water, we're protecting the environment, and we're protecting all life. And we're saving, energy, and we're saving money. So it makes sense to protect our water. What Dr. Sylvia Earle says was the idea that what we do in the next 10 years will impact the next 10,000 years. wow, I looked at that. That could be really negative too, but I saw it as a positive. You know, we have a chance to create a sea change together. You know, all the people on the planet, all 7 billion of us. We have enough water if we take care of it. So that's why it's really critical that I use my art to engage the public, because art has that one element that can really move people, not only for awareness, but to cause action. And people today, I'm very encouraged, especially the young people, are beginning to hear that message and take action. And if you want to protect the environment today, continue to talk to us adults. If you want to protect it for the future, you've got to have the kids on board. Watching Jacques Cousteau, you know, my hero in the Cousteau Society, I wanted to start my own foundation, the Weiland Foundation. It was important for me to develop programs that were art-based, but also had science. One of the cool things we did early on is we created a mobile learning experience. So this truck travels all around the U.S., inviting kids to come and experience the idea that they're part of the ecosystem, part of the watershed, and the things they do are either going to ensure a healthy planet or diminish it. So those are the seeds of education and inspiration that we plant deep in the minds, hearts, and souls of our youth. And now I'm beginning to see those investments bear fruit. Kids are becoming marine biologists, they're part of different conservation groups, they're starting their own groups. They're not going to stand by and watch us destroy our planet. They're going to be ambassadors for the planet. And eventually they're going to inherit all these challenges, but they're up for it. These kids are smart, and some of them are better artists than me, so I may be out of a job after this. I hope they remember that I tried to support them, you know, when they were coming up. Please remember me.